Hello there, great person. Welcome back to Let's Watch Evangelion Neon Genesis penultimate episode. Do you love me? We will get into this. Let's see what it is. Last one. Almost. It was an awesome show. Flawless if I ignore the Zuhara situation. And I loved every second. And thanks for being with me on this journey. We will watch this one, the next one, so can't say more than let's enjoy it, or whatever I do with this. I like it, but it's doing weird stuff to my heart and feelings. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Also check out my psychological fantasy story as a web novel, currently running, probably like 20 chapters out. Hope you like it. And let's go. Let's have some fun. Take care of yourself. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so done. You know, I've been recording since episode 16. I've been recording almost 12 hours now. So I'm really getting bonkers. So let's go. So for that alone, like and subscribe and try out my web novel. So let's go.
Doch ich frag mich, wer wir sind.
Yeah, also, I will watch the intro in the last one. So, let's go. The reason it's okay to be here, the case of Shinji Ikari. A boy wished for his own death. A boy granted his wish. Yeah. The final angel is gone. There was his head. It was a lot less brutal than seeing a tube getting squished, so I'm glad that this, like, they care for the children. I'm so sorry, I'm gonna stop going on about that. But it's also the thing, is it mercy to end someone that died inside? Perhaps that angel also encompassed not only of betrayal, but also of meaninglessness, of giving up. It was basically Shinji in a way, in the state he was at the start of the show, that he finally disposed of. Very poetic, all of it. It's Shinji, I guess, why did you... Yeah, I get that, man, I get that. That's harsh. Because you grew up. And here's again the angel space. That's true. That's true. Yeah. 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 And I love that it's this angel, the angel that is your real friend and that betrays you because for selfish reasons, because the angel had selfish reasons, obviously. It's not like the Zuhara case where it's like infected with a mind virus or a sect. It's just because the person you loved and that was your best friend or whatever decided they were more important themselves than your friendship and stabbed you in the back. And cutting them loose, so to speak, because it doesn't need to be killing in the real world, obviously, it is cutting loose and stepping away from them. Is that justified? Yes, but it hurts like hell. And you will ask yourself, should I have perhaps tried to make amends? But probably not. And I'm having a very dark outlook on that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. I love these. Yeah. Yeah. He would have drained you dead. And I think if you look at this from the perspective of meta commentary, again, it's like, yes, he was human, but he was toxic for you, so you cut him loose, and that hurts as shit. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's trauma though, PTSD almost, and it's reasonable. Yeah, everyone who could help him here is gone. Yeah. Everyone who could help him is gone. Misato's there. She should help him. Yeah. But he wasn't a better person because he betrayed you. You wouldn't have betrayed him. So I would argue you're the better person. But obviously he would say it like this. That's so interesting, all of this. It's really well done. It's a fitting last angel as well. Because being grown up is really fucked. Yeah, perhaps not. And his world is distorting. I like that. Yeah, that's the theme of the show. Yep. One of the things. By everyone. By yourself. Nope. But you told yourself that. That's so interesting that it mirrors Asuka as well. She's like, I hate everyone, and he's like, everyone hates me. That's so interesting. Why are we in a weird cloud-like city escape with weird things and vines? Interesting. What I really think is interesting, this is like a heavenly depiction for the first time. It's clouds and it's things growing, though they look pretty dead. But he's among the heavens now because he has succeeded in growing up, while many others in the show have failed. Perhaps everyone else has failed, so he's alone because of that. Yeah, and now he's grown up. But that's the question: if you're grown up, where do you go now? The next question after growing up, what are you doing now? That's so sad, man. Because that's the thing. I also like this. Growing up means you are alone because you are your own agent person. Because he has prevailed through all these struggles and he has grown up, but it means you are your own person, and your own autonomous, responsible person means you are alone, which also the angel said. That's cool. I really like that. He did, like, it's the dark side of growing up. Oh, there's the Nefa. Yeah, it's it. Yeah. You don't need to, the angels are gone. But you will pilot it forever because now that's your body. That's so awesome. I like that he tries to regress back from adulthood into childhood here again by calling for his mother. That's really awesome. Really awesomely done. See, again, why do you pilot the IFA? To do what people tell me? No, that's Rei. We've done that. Next question. To help everyone, what's wrong with that? See, here, he's trying to lie to himself to be a child again. I love that. Yeah. It is a great thing. Now he's got the Asuka problem here. Now this is, now he went from his own reason to Asuka's reason, which is toxic. Yeah. See? Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Perfect. Yeah. That is so perfect, man. You know what's the sad thing? I am unsure, like, I hope Asuka gets the closure for arc as well, because if Asuka because this is basically the closure for Asuka's arc, but she doesn't have it, he does have her closure here, so she might really be just depressed and done for, which is so sad, but realistic, but so sad. She didn't grow up. She didn't manage to grow up. She withered. She died inside. She's just a like depressed husk now because she couldn't take the pressure and she's done. But I hope we get to see her again. But this is the conclusion. Because he has understood what it means to grow up from a position where he's in and where she's in. He understood as well how she should have grown up. That is awesome, man. Yeah, exactly. That's so true, man. That's so good. Yeah. Our second character, the case of Asuka Landley Soryu. That is funny, man. Oh, we go back to her. Will he get close? She get closer? Yeah. I don't know how the fuck this happened. This is a bit trippy, but it's very fitting. because you can't escape your Eva. Once you start puberty, that will happen. You will get your new body, and you will be forced. There's no way out. That's why this is harrowing as shit. Yeah, holy shit. That's so good, man, but so fucking sad. Nobody needs a grown-up that's not grown up. Holy fuck, that's basically what you say. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, they all are. I love it, man. Man, Asuka's my favorite character by far. Rei, okay. Yeah. Her struggle is that, like, she's just doing what people tell her to, because that's the good life. She's basically the human version of the yes man from episode 7. I like that though. Even though the difference between her and the yes man from episode 7 is that she indeed does. I think, and in some important situations, she understood when it was important to be her own person, and she was. And she did sacrifices that were great for that. And even though people always pressure her back into the role and she accepts it, she knows when to break out of it. So she's in a way grown up in parts, but she also is grown up into society and woven into it too much. And this as well, a fake soul. I know in universe that's true, because she's a weird clone thing. But if you say, like, this is basically the overprotective father as well. I haven't thought about this, and I'm so ridiculously brain dead for not realizing this. So basically, for Shinji, the father was, I would say, all in all, now having seen everything, more healthy than destructive, though he was not supportive. I would, like, that was his I do think that's what he did wrong, I feel. But he let Shinji be the man he needed to be, and he just pushed him and advised him when it was necessary. And he was the one that really knew the moments when to talk him to get his ass up and when to be cold. And he acted every time in the way so Shinji could develop, even though he sacrificed their bond for it a bit, but he made Shinji an autonomous, functioning person. And with Rei, he did the exact opposite. Like, Rei has this incredible father complex because she wants to do everything her father says, and she tries to embody him as best as she can, and through that she loses this autonomy. Yeah, and that she's basically possessed by the persona. She, like every person has the persona, but she's possessed and she's become it. Yeah. Yeah, it's suppressed as shit. That's also why her id is so fucking unhinged, because the more pressure society puts onto you, the more your inner stuff will boil and start to explode. She did not explode in the show, but we have this weird id. Because she tries to, she still lets it out when she does her own stuff once or twice, you know, but... Yeah, exactly, this as well. I like that. That as well, the interactions with others are society as well. It's also, again, the will of her father as a representation of the abstract idea of society, and her friends as parts of society, the thing I also talked a bit about before, which is very well interwoven into her character here. Really nicely done character as well. I feel like this is just the send-off to the characters, trying to grasp them one last time and showing what they were about, which is weird, but I like it a lot. Yeah, her real you. Yeah, she might have lost herself to her persona too much. Exactly. Ooh, Rorschach tests. Yeah, because she might be her id. And with human, I think Rei understands the picture people have of society and not the emotional component. She shuts that off. You know, she's not, and she doesn't care about her emotional component, which is toxic as well, and she suppresses it. Very, very nicely done. Yeah. And this makes perfect sense as well with that, because if she's the persona that she thinks everyone likes, if her true self might come through because she's suppressed it so much, should she be herself now, there is a high risk that people actually will dislike her. Because her real self might be like Asuka antagonistic and stuff, and something people don't like, but she all her life tried to be like people like her. And that's so tragic in a way as well. There are these people who are always, when they're with others, they try to be like them, try to be liked, try to be in sync with them. And through that, they lose themselves, and they create versions of themselves in the other person's head, like we had before discussed, in such an extent that their true self is so different from that. Then should their true self be with their friends, they are like, who are you? I don't know you. And then there is the isolation and alienation, which is, man, I love the writing. This is just genius. Yeah, because her personal world is the world of others. And it would be change. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And I know this is a very self-deleting idea here in universe, which I also like. It's tragic as shit. But I would also say that you can't destroy your persona. It's something that comes with your life, and it comes more with the more you grow up, the more it comes. Yeah. That's so sad, man. You might be. Interesting. Interesting. The instrumentality of humanity begins. I don't know what that means. Do you love me? Yeah. That was really awesome. I love that this is like now meta as fuck. It's funny. Yeah, he's starting to become part of society in a healthy way. Very nice. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I like it. He finally connects with the world. I have to think about that. It feels really like this is finally his transcending like all these limits and him being healthily accepted by the others in a way, and him being able to get out of his shell and connecting with stuff. And the fear is returning to nothingness, because one of the things I also think about currently is like, you are just one in many then. If you're a part of society, you are just one of many. That's also an idea, but you're still there. Returning to the mother who has been lost to this world. So he killed her. I mean, fine. I'm sorry, I just didn't care for her that much. I can't pretend I did. The mother who has been lost to this world. That as well is a theme. Because there's no childhood, your mother is still deeply within you and you might have forgotten her. So remembering the motherly ideas in your life is also useful, because they can also shield you from the loneliness in adulthood. The memories. Oh. Why did they kill there though? Like, okay, this is a bit. I did this. Like, this is like, what's going on? I'm not shocked. I don't know why I'm not crying. It's like, we just see characters dead now. Okay, fine, we're doing that. Why are they all dead? Our hearts will become one and we will achieve eternal peace. Why are they dead? In universe, they are murked because their uses are over, I guess. Because the angel's dead, so Nerf has no use anymore. So they are offed, I guess, perhaps by him. Don't know by whom. But it basically also means that he doesn't rely on them anymore. He could rely on them, but he doesn't need to anymore. He's his own person now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it is that. It is that. Okay, but it's a bit more fucked up here. the darkness in their hearts, I think, is the scariness of society as a whole. I would say that's how I understand this. They obviously talk in meta terms about it. So you think we should merge everyone's hearts together? That basically means like we should not fear society, but completely like absorb ourselves into it, which is scary. I don't think that's so wise. Yeah. Yeah. That is true, and I don't like that. So they are trying it in the wrong way, I would say. I'm unsure if Shinji is doing this currently. Like, Shinji's thing was different. What they're doing here is doing a commie nightmare. Commie dream. Everyone is cozy and the same, and we're all perfect. We don't have to be afraid of each other because we're all such good people. And you can't do that because the darkness is still there. Darkness will corrupt you. The angels will come still. It's not the solution. Did she? Case 1, okay. Okay, I do think what this is, and you know what is confusing to me, the real shots, like her being dead on the floor. I guess that I have the feeling here that the Evangelion story is over, and we now go into character introspections and look at them again and see what what we know about them and how they are and how they grapple with this idea of society, each of them, and with the idea of being absorbed into it. Because as an adult, you still have that, yeah. That is true. I like that we go back to that. That's the thing with what he had as a nightmare with the weird quantum foam angel. The idea that people look at me differently, and I'm a different being for everyone. So what am I? Am I the am I the unification? Am I the intersection? Am I the average of their ideas of me? But I do think through interacting with others, you just learn more about yourself as well. So society has this nurturing part, or also the terrible part, which is an angel. Sometimes it was expressed as angels, like this judgmental, terrible part. But I like that. Do you want to be a good girl? You want to be a good girl? God, I hate that. It sounds so wrong. But this is, again, her father trauma. And the father trauma is a societal trauma in a meta sense as well, like archetypically. And he tries to understand her now. I like that. So I know, like the Shinji we look at here, I think is the one that's grown up, so he can interact with her in an adult way. So he is interacting with her in an adult way here. I like that. And he's finally also stable enough to be able to be like, I'm my own person, I know what I want, I see you're in pain, and let me help you. He can do that now. He's never done that before in the show, not once. Like, sometimes was fighting with people, but he never really was like really professionally, in a way, sitting down with someone like, hey, you're bad. What do you want? What do you wish for? Let me talk about you, not me here. Because the puberty is over now. He doesn't need to center on himself anymore. I really like that. Why? Yeah. Yeah. I love that she builds a rocket to fly away to the stars. I know I'm overinterpreting. I love that we go back to all the societal problems they had. And the problems with moms and dads are obviously also societal problems, because your mom and dad are the first interactions with society in a way you have, because they are shaped by them. And in the best case, they are responsible adults or grown-up adults. They might not be, and you get even more toxicity from society thrown in your way. But you have to grapple with society when interacting with anyone. Like, in a developmental sense, that's the thing. Like, the moment you are 3 or 4, you start to interact with society. I still don't know what the second impact symbolizes, if it's the birth or if it's it could also mean, like, has many potential things. It could be birth, or if first impact is birth, second impact might be growing up from a toddler to a child, like this starting to understand that there's society, starting these interactions and not really grasping them, that would also fit. So when you're like 2 or 3, you can't even distinguish your mother from yourself, and your father sometimes as well, I think, mostly your mother. And then people are different, they separate in your consciousness from or perception from you, and there's something different, and you have to start interacting with it. And that's the first interaction with society you basically have in a way that you can work through and conceptualize. So your mom is the first societal part, even though it's very heavily linked to nature and your nature as well. But yeah. It's also funny. That's such like the daddy issues are real here. I love Misato. Sad that she's lying dead on the floor somewhere for some reason, but holy shit, man, yeah. That's weird. That's weird. Interesting, yeah. That's such a good question. I love that her problems are with figuring out if he loves her or not, if it was all a plan. It is basically a bit like she's always grappling with the 15th angel. She's always grabbing with the idea of, is my lover loving me or is he stabbing me in the back right now? So she never beat her 15th angel. So arguably she hasn't grown up. If we go through this logic, which you might obviously completely disagree with, it's just my ideas I'm spouting currently. But that's so cool, man. It's weird, these real things really throw me off. For me, the show's already over. What? Man, so awesome. All there. I love that it's all there. Man, it's just their ideas about society being presented to the viewer here. And their place in it, and their interactions, and what they thought about them, and the fears they might have, and the angels they might not have beaten, or that might have consumed them, arguably even. The 15th angel, something like that, might have consumed her. Yeah. Wow, that's so sad, though. Yeah. That is so it's basically the 15th angel she fucking never beat. That's so dark, man. That's so sad. Yeah, we know that. I mean, I analyzed the scene completely already, I feel, so I won't go on about it here. All I said is still true, even more true now that we see it like this. That's so sad, man. Yeah. I like that I don't like it, but I like the writing of her safe hatred being fueled by society as well, by her interaction with her father as a representative potentially of society. I mean, her being like, make me filthy is pretty... I mean, that has double meanings. I mean, if she says that with him when they're in bed, I guess that might turn him on. But at this moment, it's obviously really terrible. So, man, there's so many layers here. Yes, grow up. Fuck off, man. I love it. Yeah, they do. That's so interesting. Really cool, man. I love this. Love it. How their interactions with others broke them. Yeah, this as well. It's interesting. It isn't though. That's so cool, man. I love this so much. I love the recontextualization with these moments that just like I'm so glad that I caught all these themes they're presenting here again. I do think most of them I did call and caught during the watch, and they are just represented to me now. So this is just I feel like this is weird. I feel a bit too much like Asuka. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I got all of that. I'm the champ, man. And I probably didn't. And you're like, no, it's not what it's about. But I'm like, I love this because all the things were like, I probably just feel like it, but it feels like I'm so happy. It feels like all these little things I sometimes picked out and talked about and referred to each other. And sometimes I feel, and now they are presented as a whole as the characters' ideas. That is so funny. I love that. Man, this feels so good. It feels so good, man. Yeah, man. It's so cool. I got them. It tells me that I got all of them so well, man. I like. Am I happy? That's so awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's your persona, sister. Love it, man. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Love it, man. Also that, I like that there's also this kind of nature in it, like just sleeping around, like she apparently did. I never saw that. I don't know where that's coming from, but it would fit. Like, it's just something they can tell me here and I would buy it. Because she just, like, all of this is so true. Just... Yeah. And that's, again this, what I talked about as well, so much. Present over future. You gratify yourself in the moment because there's something hurting. And it's not childish in the part that it's like a child. It's childish in that it's not grown up. Like, it's not the same. It's not grown up to gratify yourself with these escapades all the time because you don't. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's not like this. But in most cases, it's like you gratify yourself in the moment, for example, with sex, whatever, and like sleeping around, and you don't think of the future. Don't care. And perhaps that's okay. I mean, if you make that choice and you know that you're not thinking of the future, like everyone can decide to live in the present and not the future, because the future could be different and you might die because the boss hits you next day, you know? It's something everyone has to evaluate for themselves. So I'm not saying she was wrong here, but she's doing by not looking into the future in any way and not realizing that she doesn't like she acts in a non-adult way. I would argue if she knew that she sacrificed her future, some future ideas, or that she didn't think long term, or that she didn't try to fix her problem long term. I think, yeah, that's it. She didn't try to fix her problem long term. That's why I do think she's not acting as an adult here, and she didn't grow up in that regard because yeah. Yeah, what could she be wishing for? Is that what we had about her? I like that. That really fit her. I would also like I mean, the episode 6 minutes, we had two characters. I think we had Shinji, we had Rei, Asuka as well a bit, but that's basically her character we just saw. And I do think that I like that they have these faults. I do think what Shinji has, if we say Shinji is the perfection of, he's grown up, he's the role model for growing up in this show, and everyone else isn't, that's like everyone else is more human than Shinji in that regard, because I also have parts where I'm not grown up. For example, like I would know several things where I'm not grown up. Like, I have not fought some angels, so to speak. I think everyone has the angels they haven't fought or beaten, or that might at the moment consume them and integrate into them. And I do think that is something everyone human has. So Shinji is now like the perfect human in a way, in that way I feel. So he's the one who can judge people now, but he's not judging them with hatred like an angel would. He's judging them with kindness and trying to understand where they went wrong, which is also the adult thing to do again. Man, fuck off. This is brilliant. I love this part. Oh, this is so cool. I love this. So, Asuka, I hope you somehow get a happy ending, but I don't think so. No. Like, I have no, like, I've heard this is divisive. I have no fucking clue why this would be divisive. This is awesome. Like, it's just a summary. It is like I said, man, I have to say, I'm gonna say this. I was really fucking anxious when I ended 24 because the story was over. And I was so anxious that they would pull some Steins Gate shit, which in Steins Gate, it was shit because they didn't adapt the visual novel. So it wasn't the story, it was the adaptation decay. But here it was like, this is so rewarding, this part. This is basically just, hey, you had these characters, they fought the angels, Shinji grew up, this was his way. And now you get to meet them one last time. I will condense everything about each character through this device of Shinji has understood all of them. I think in universe, perhaps they're all like ascended or some fucked up shit. I don't know how that would have happened. I don't really care. But I don't think, because I've never seen this show on the in-universe level, you know that. So for me, it was an incredibly well done character study journey. In the context of let's fight some angels with mechas and hit them really hard and shoot at them really hard. But for me, it was a young boy growing up, learning to connect with society, and now he has connected. And now as he has connected with all the people and has grown up into a responsible adult with the help of his father that was always at the right time, but never too much, so he would get lost or dependent on him toxically. He did have this hatred against him. He didn't get over it, which is okay, but he at least didn't make it his being, which he did before. And he grew up, and now he is mature enough to understand the plights of his friends finally. We saw the plights of his friends before, and we understood some of them already pretty well. I actually think I did, at least, I would say. But now he does, and now he can finally go out and confront their fears and understand them, and perhaps in the future help them. Perhaps. Now he has the agency because he is not occupied with himself anymore. And I absolutely love that as 2 last episodes. It is just the victory lap for him here. Like, he now has the chance to change his friends because he is done with himself in the main parts. Yeah, that's funny. What doctors do, though? Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Because she had to, that's also something, she had to start growing up too quickly as a child because her mother seppuku in front of her. So she had to be on her own in an unhealthy way very early on. And so she developed the things we talked about at length, or I talked about at length, and she developed all of them very understandably, and it fucking did her in the end. That's so sad, by the way. I hope Shinji can help her. I don't need to see it, but he now understands her enough to truly help her. Yeah, that's true as well. It's not her real mother, perhaps. No. Wow, that also is like her, like the mother figure in her life is unstable as shit. Every mother figure she did have is unstable as shit. Wow, yeah. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. Oh god, this is so fucking wrong. I hate that phrase so much in these contexts, man. Oh god. Also, the good girl part is, if you look a bit more, it's not a grown-up thing. Good girl is basically, I will be a child for you that you can control, own, lord over, or whatever, in some form. So if I'm a good girl, I don't need to be a grown-up girl. I don't need to be a woman. That is the thing that's both with her and Misato. It's the same thing because it's the same phrase. And it's, again, this anti-adult thing. I do think there are some sexual role players where you do this, and I do think you explore that by that as well. But it doesn't have to even be sexual. You can do other role plays. Like role plays are exploring things you haven't grasped yet, or something that is missing in your life. You know, it's like trying to balance out something in a secure environment. I guess that's why people do this good girl stuff sometimes in that context, I would say. Because it is also loss of, like, if you are, like, it is being like, for a moment here in our safe space, I will let go and I will let you be taking the burden of adulthood from me in this perhaps arousing contest. God, I'm trying not to get demonetized here. Like, in this spicy context, I'm pretending like I'm the person who doesn't need the responsibility that I shoulder every second in my life. I do think it's also, there are studies in psychology on, let's say, power dynamic plays, where often people with a lot of power in a lot of their life and a lot of responsibility take some time off by role playing the other extreme, let's say it like that, which is, I think, a very interesting observation. And it is this idea of non-adulthood, this protectiveness of the pre-adulthood era that you should have, and especially because these characters didn't have it, it's something they wish for dearly, and it stops them from growing up. Wow, man. Yeah. See that as well, this rejection here. And she emulated that, because that's the first idea of society she had. Holy fuck, man. Yeah. I like that she at least had that step. That is so dark. Yeah. Holy shit. Also, her mother basically gave in to meaninglessness and despair. The same way she's doing right now, and that's so sad. I hope that she hated that look on her face so much that she will self-reflect and understand that she's almost in the same situation right now. And I hope that Shinji realizes that and he can help her through it a bit. Or someone else, that is, you know. See, that is the key for her betterment, I guess. it's funny. I like that she's so conflicted with this still. But I like that she doesn't want to die, which is a healthy thing. So she's not at the place her mother was at yet, though she's close, I feel. So I do think she needs someone that protects her and is kind to her. And Shinji was that for some episodes, sometimes. So I do hope he can reignite that in the future with her. Oh yeah, what does she wish for? Yeah, we know that. Yeah, I would hate that. I hate being adult. Sometimes as well, Asuka, I feel you so bad, man. Sometimes just being like, letting yourself go is, I do think that would be very beautiful. Life's hard, man. Yeah. Really? Oh. What do you expect? Human instrumentality is basically being like, society is not a challenge, but a tool to use and to use for your goals. I guess that's also a way of looking at it. What you experience at any given time are mere facts. That is completely untrue. I know that she's not a doctor and she never should be a doctor in psychology or something. You never experience facts. That is one of the worst, stupidest lines I've ever read. And I know it's from a character, it's not from a writer. But the other way around. It's not from the writer, it's from the character. She has understood nothing. You can look up the Simmons experiment with the gorilla. Every perception you have is mediated by instrumentality already. So you just have to project it onto the societal dimension. But I guess whatever. That is true though.
時とともに変化していく。
Yeah.
あなたが望んだ結果なのよ。
Yeah. You wish to grow up?
破滅を誰も救われない世界。
What world where no one is saved? I don't know what she's talking about now. She randomly starts talking about a world that's not saved. I don't know. I mean, a world where no one is saved is dark, but why would he do that? Like, there's no indication at all that this happened.
誰もあなたを救えないわ。
Yeah, you only can save yourself.
あなた自身が望んだのよ。
I really don't know why this is happening now. Okay, now I'm getting really confused. Like, he's like, oh, this is weird. Why is this happening? And they're like, you wanted everyone to die. Like, what? No, he didn't. I mean, he probably wanted all connections to die in that he didn't want to be dependent on them. I can see it like that, but... I mean, that is it. So, okay, so it is basically, okay, I was confused about this, like, this fact part was really off-putting. I don't know what they were talking about. I think they smoked some crack there. But this, again, makes sense. Like, he now is his own being in his own world, almost like he's trying not to be influenced by others anymore. So he killed them. He killed their influence on him, like the toxic influences on them and him, I think. But it's hard. It's hard.
決まりきってる世界だろ。違うわ。
Exactly. That is so cool. That is so cool. He thought it is the world, like when, like where he's completely like he's overwhelmed by everything people want. And no, this is exactly different. If you're healthily grown up, that's exactly like that. You can decide. That is reality of an adult. Yeah. That is true, though. They can't. They can't. I don't know. Perhaps some of this failed. Perhaps he's failed. Suddenly, it is a weird break that came here. I think it's a weird break. Perhaps he's isolating himself too much, and he hasn't understood the most important things. That he needs that he can nurture the connections. That might be actually it. That he was presented with the worries of his people that he can now see, and he's like, no, not gonna do that. Want to be on my own. It's basically him deciding to, in the end, despite all that happened, to go away and leave them behind. That's weird. I don't know what they're talking about now. Okay, I don't know what the frick they were smoking there in the end. It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense that the world is like that now. Because he seemed pretty, like he had overcome every obstacle and suddenly he's like very depressed. Like, that's a bit weird. I guess it's the danger of being an adult, though, that you isolate yourself. Because you think others are toxic influences. I'm just sad that I would have liked it more if he tried to interact with the others more. And to help them now, because he could do that now. But he was like, okay, I'm an adult now. I'm free of all of your influences. I'm my own person. I've grown up. Fuck you. That's what he now did. I mean, that's fine. I guess that's a bit in line with him. It also would mean that when all the others were killed by that one isolation angel, that it got him in the end. I don't know. This is a bit weird. I'm a bit sad that it went into this direction, which it is reasonable, but it's not as cool as if he would have just heard everyone's characters and then in the end it would be like, let's start to work on it or something. That would have been a cooler ending for me. But if you want a more sad note, it's like he grew up, he grew out of that shit because all the others are not grown up. So he's basically grow up on your own, fuck off. I made it. I grew up on my own, even though he didn't. He had help, but he doesn't realize that really. So he grew up and he's like, you all are still children. I don't want that. Like, everyone else has these flaws still. And he sees all the flaws in all of them. He's like, your flaws, been there, done that. I fought the angels. You fight your own ones. Fuck off, bye. And then he realizes that he's alone because no one else can fight the angels alone. And he couldn't fight them alone, but he thought he did. That's how I get it now a bit. Which is an interesting choice. It is a very depressing choice, but it is a reasonable choice, unfortunately. But anyway, so we've got one more episode to go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you for that one. And yeah, as always, check out my web novel, my ongoing one, and I hope you like that. I don't know if anyone has even read one single chapter of that till this point. So if no one did, I still hope you try it out. And see you around till next time, or the last time before the movies. Bye.